In this video, I'll help you navigate the world of mortgage loan officers and guide you in choosing the right one for your specific needs. Only a few select are truly exceptional at their job, and we use a 5-fold standard to evaluate all loan officers. Those 5 criteria for a top-notch lender are honesty, a developed system with checks and balances, expertise and strategy, strong internal and external relationships, and competitive rates. Let's start with the most obvious and talk about honesty. The truth is, when someone obtains a loan to purchase a home, it involves a substantial amount of money. And as a result, it can attract some shady characters. I've personally encountered numerous instances where a lender would make promises of low interest rates, painting a picture of a beautiful world, only to reveal a week before closing a bunch of hidden fees. My advice is, if the rate sounds too good to be true, it probably is. That's why it's essential to work with a lender that has a proven track record and is well known in the industry. Secondly, the top performing loan officers are typically in high demand because they provide excellent service. Therefore, having a well-established systems with proper checks and balances is critical. One common complaint I hear from buyers is that they feel overwhelmed, disorganized, and stressed at the end of a transaction. The reality is there are numerous moving components involved in purchasing a home, and they are all interconnected with each other. A delay in lending can have significant consequences for everyone involved. For instance, the buyer may need to vacate a lease that is ending, or a seller may have already closed on another property and is now paying 2 mortgages due to the delayed closing. This can result in the loss of thousands of dollars and even ruin a deal altogether. I've seen it before. Really, the list of potential issues due to a delay are endless, and I've seen almost all of them. But the takeaway is clear. Lenders must have a system in place to obtain any necessary documentation without waiting until the last minute to do so. They should adhere to a strict guideline throughout the escrow process to ensure they stay on track and close on time. Our recommended loan officers not only have established systems, but we also have methods in place to hold them accountable and keep them on track. Thirdly, it's crucial for a loan officer to possess expertise in the loan process and utilize it creatively. In the lending process, loan officers gather a buyer's financial details and submit them to an underwriter who approves the loan. A loan officer's level of proficiency determines their ability to structure a buyer's profile creatively in order to obtain an approval from an underwriter. The benefit is significant to a buyer because a skilled loan officer can anticipate potential issues and prevent them proactively before they become problems. This brings me to my 4th criterion, the strength of relationships, not only within the loan officer's team, but also the real estate industry as a whole. Many individuals play a vital role in the lending process, including but not limited to appraisers, junior and senior loan processors, underwriters, and a bunch other. A top-notch loan officer maintains relationships and a direct line of communication with all the parties involved, an ability that most loan officers don't have, but it's important they do. And here's a quick story why. My clients were on a hunt to buy a property, and we finally found the perfect one. The only problem was that the property was in terrible condition and the banks were hesitant to lend on it. This meant that any buyer that wanted to purchase that property would have a hard time getting a loan from the bank. Luckily, our loan officer was a genius at navigating the loan process. They knew that the appraiser was the person who determined whether or not the property was in acceptable condition. So they set up the appraisal to be a drive-by only, which meant that the appraiser only saw the outside of the property and did not investigate the inside. As a result, the property passed the appraisal with flying colors, and my clients were able to acquire the property for $100,000 less than its appraised value. Let me restate that. They made $100,000 because of a good lender. Most of the agents and buyers gave up on this property because they knew that the standard appraiser would have caused the transaction to fall apart, but not us. And that's because we had a loan officer and a team who knew the loan process so well inside and out and had relationships with their internal team. This brings me to my fifth point. Warren Buffett famously said, "Price is what you pay and value is what you get." This is critical to understand, particularly in context of loan officers. While the best loan officers may not always have the lowest rates, when a buyer makes one of the most significant purchases of their life, the cheapest option is not necessarily the best one. Instead, we strive to find the best value, as the most competent loan officer can help buyers make more money in the long run. My hope is that you start to recognize the power of having a skilled loan officer by your side. If you're interested in being linked up with one of our preferred lenders, please click on the button located under the third step on our buyer's website page. However, I recommend that you watch the final video in the series before doing that. The next video will give you an unfair advantage in a competitive buyer's market, and you wouldn't want to miss it. I'll see you there.